Well, hello everyone, welcome to another video. It is me, Desiree, and one of my alocasias recently came down with a case of the spider mites. And I have all of them sitting on this table right here. I'll show you where they're at. But whenever one of them has spider mites, I treat all of them for spider mites because they spread really easily, and I would just rather be proactive with that rather than reactive, because it's kind of easier to prevent them than it is to, I mean, it's not that difficult to get rid of them either if you stay on top of it, but if you have like an infestation, it's going to be very difficult to get rid of them. So what I do with my alocasias is every time I water them, or every time one needs water, I do check the leaves. Sometimes I forget and sometimes it gets away from me, and sometimes I check them and I don't really see them. Honestly, most of the time that I've seen spider mites on my alocasias, my boyfriend has seen them just in the right light, and he goes, hey, there's a spider web on that one. And that's when I've kind of caught them before. But my purple cloak, I think that's what it's called, that's what it was sold as anyway, has spider mites, and so does Tiny Dancer. So I'll try to show you close up what they look like, because they can kind of just look like dust. Like you might not even notice that you have them until you see them all over the place. So check the leaves very, very carefully when you're giving them a watering. Another way to kind of prevent them is to, I don't know if you can really prevent them by this way, but I feel like keeping the leaves clean can sometimes kind of help prevent the spider mites from, you know, infesting your plant. At least that's been my experience. So I'm going to take all the plants off, take them outside, show you what I do to clean all the spider mites off, and then how I just care for them once they have spider mites. So let me turn you around and I'll show you where I keep them all, and then we'll head outside and give them a little clean. So this is where I keep them all. They're on this table that sits right underneath this window. It's a west-facing window, so they get a lot of really, really good light throughout the day, especially during the afternoon. They get a lot of really bright light. This is the one here that has the spider mites. I'm gonna insert some pictures if I can of what they look like, because they're really hard to miss, especially if you just kind of think, oh, the plant's just a little dusty. So I'll try to get some closer pictures of it so you can kind of see what they look like, but they're very, very easy to miss. This one here also has spider mites, and I keep my Thai constellation on this table because it loves the light right here, but I'm kind of worried about it now being with all these spider mite plants. I know some of you are probably screaming at me like, don't keep it there, but it loves it right here. Like, it's standing up tall and it's beautiful, but I'm going to treat all of them for spider mites. And what I have found is if you stay on top of it, the plants will be okay. So let's put all these in a bin. I got my little bin here. I'm just gonna kind of put them all in, carry as many as I can outside, and I will meet you out there. So it's a little bit windy, but I'm hoping it's not too bad, like you can't hear it. So what I'm gonna be using, this is the best stuff ever. It's the Captain Jack's insecticidal soap. I have used this, the Dead Bug Brew. I think this, I don't know, these last two bottles I've bought, I feel like they're actually water. Like, they smell like water, they look like water. It's the weirdest thing. So I've tried that one, but this is the one that truly, truly works. And I only use this. Like, I don't try a whole bunch of different things. I've never tried neem oil. I just go for what works and what's gonna kill the bugs right away. So this is what I'm going to be using. Okay, first thing, pay no attention to the mess in the corner, okay? We're still spring cleaning over here. But you don't want to use this if you're in the sun. It even says it on here, don't use if you're going to be in the sunlight. Make sure you have them covered and make sure you're in a well-ventilated area. Although this stuff doesn't have like a super chemical smell, it does have something in it you don't want to be inhaling, you know? So this is one of those times I'm going to say, do as I say, not as I do. So, because I'm not going to wear any gloves. I like to feel like I'm massaging the cleaner into the leaves. So you're going to want to spray the leaf, the undersides of the leaf, and the stem, and make sure you really get it in there. This is one that has a ton of little crevices and stuff, so I want to make sure to massage it all in there. And make sure to kill all of those little bugs. I have seen people say you should wash this off and like rinse it when you're done. I don't really think you're supposed to. It doesn't say to rinse it, and I never have, and the plants have been just fine. The only one I do rinse is a very delicate one that I have here, the caladium. That one I do rinse just because I didn't rinse it last year and I burned the whole plant up to a crisp. So I'm just gonna continue spraying all these plants, massaging them down, and I will massage all of these stems as well. Get them all cleaned off. And if you smell it up close, it has a very sterile, like if you open up a brand new box of latex gloves, that's exactly what this smells like. But with like a little bit of hand sanitizer mixed in, so don't breathe it in, you know. Make sure you're outside. Although I have used this before in the bathroom, in the bathtub, during winter time, because I had a plant that was all messed up and needed to be sprayed down. And it was okay, it stunk pretty bad, but the plant got cleaned off. That's the important part. All right, just gonna continue on. And I'm glad it's a little bit breezy too, so they'll kind of dry off a little quicker. Because you also don't want your leaves sitting with liquid on them. You could spray them down. I know people like to mist their plants and stuff, and I do too, just because it's cute. But, you know, having moisture on your leaves can sometimes lead to a little bit of rot. So you don't want these to stay wet forever. And the nice breeze will kind of clean them off nicely, I guess. And if you have a lot of plants, obviously this is going to take a long time, but it's totally worth it because this will kill all of them in one go. And my philodendron McDowell was getting spider mites a lot because it was on the same table as all these alocasias, and once I moved it to a different room, it's been perfectly fine ever since. All right, first one done. Looks better already. Just gonna go put it right back here. Oh, I missed a leaf. I missed a leaf on this one. This next one here, the Alocasia cerean, this one only has 2 leaves left. I'm hoping a new one's gonna pop out soon, but I love this one so much. It's so cool looking. And this stuff doesn't burn or irritate my skin at all, like when I'm using it like this, but use gloves to be on the safe side. Oh, look, this one has a little corm popping up right here. How cute. This is an Alocasia Ivory Coast. This one's doing okay. It's not thriving out here. But I think I keep letting this one get a little too dry. But this one's one of my favorites. I love the way that these leaves look. And you want to wet it till it's absolutely saturated. Next one, my one leaf boy. This is the Alocasia Pink Dragon. Look how tall it is with 1 leaf. I'm hoping this one will grow a new leaf this year, but it just has 1 leaf left. But I think it's so pretty. This is one that seems to get the spider mites the most, the tiny dancer. I don't know why that is, but it just does. And I like to make sure and get all the way inside the little cups of these leaves. This big boy too, this is an Alocasia Regal Shield, and it's got a couple of little buds here coming out the bottom. But this is a huge one, big giant one. This one doesn't have a pest. Oh yeah, it does, I can see them. It kind of looks like dust. It looks like it might be a dust bunny, but it's a spider mite. And it has a new leaf coming in too. This plant, it's so big, I almost regret buying it just because it's like, it just takes up so much space, you know? But it's such a pretty plant, like, I couldn't say no. This is one I actually don't like that much, and every time I see it I'm like, why do I even have it? It's called Purple Cloak, I think. That's what it was labeled as when I got it. And I did buy another one because I hated the first one so much I had to get a second one. And it's okay, I guess, but a lot of the leaves just look like crap. It does have some new growth though, so maybe it'll pull through. But this one, honestly, I don't know. And the last one I'm gonna do is the caladium. This is one I am gonna rinse off though, because the last time I did this on the caladium, it burned it to a crisp. So I'm gonna clean it up and then I'm gonna leave it for like a minute and then rinse it off. I've never noticed it do that to any other plants, but this one's just so like paper thin and delicate. Speaking of paper thin, I just ripped it. Well, I don't know if any of that was even usable footage. I wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing, but I cleaned them all. They air dry very, very quickly. So by the time I was done and I was bringing the camera back inside, the first one that I did, the Maharani, was already dry. So while the rest of them drip dry out there, I'm gonna clean off the table, take this opportunity to give it a little Windex, a little dusting, and then bring all the plants back in and give them a little rearrange as well. All right, bringing these bad boys back in. I did give the table a little cleaning. And now we're just gonna put them back. I tend to kind of keep them in the same spot because that's usually where they've been thriving. This one actually needs water, so I'm gonna go put that in the other room. Caladium, doing good there. My one leaf pink dragon, he can be back there. Tiny dancer, the troubled boy, right there. Let me go grab a few more. The Regal Shield, this is one I kind of regret buying it. It's just so big. It takes up so much space. The leaves are always covering another plant. So I try to keep it right here on the edge so it's not covering something else. This is one too that I need to just stabilize or something. The Syrian, I don't know. And then this one, I don't know how I feel about this one. The Purple Cloak, I don't know. Maybe it'll do something this summer. I'm gonna go get a couple of the little trays real quick. I forgot to bring those. Well, these are all super tiny. Why did I bring the tiniest ones? You know what? It's gonna work for now. It'll work on this one actually. Nah, it'll work for now. So that's it. I just have the Ivory Coast out there getting water, but those are the Alocasias, all nice and clean and dry and pest free. Now I just keep an eye on them, but normally if I catch it really quickly like I did this time, they'll be perfectly fine for a couple of months. I won't have to even treat them again. But if it's like a super infestation and it's just covering the entire leaf, I just kind of chuck it, like I won't even bother. I forgot to put these two back. I have my Cuprea that's growing a new leaf there, and then my Thai Constellation. I gotta put this back too. But, oh my gosh, that looks so much better. I think just having all the dust off the table, I had a little picture thing on the bottom that I took off as well. It looks great. I'm so glad I did that. Even though I wasn't feeling good today, like even when I was outside, I was just feeling like drained. Like right now I want to go take a shower and just peace the rest of the night. So that is it. I don't know how this video is going to turn out, but if you enjoyed it, thank you so much for watching. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe so you don't miss my next video, and I will see you later with another video. Goodbye.